guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Åshild. I'm gonna try to squeeze a lot of things into one video today. I wanted to do a get ready with me using my project pan items and show you my progress. So I'm gonna do that, but I also got a request to talk a little bit about dealing with MS, with work, house chores, kids, and all that. And so I'm going to try to talk a little bit about that in between talking about my project pan items. I also got a request to talk about hair loss and things that have worked for me when it comes to hair loss, and so I probably will do a video on that as well. And then if you have any more questions, I'll try to answer them down below, or I'll make a separate video for that. So this video won't be too long. I don't think I've done like a get ready with me where I actually talk about personal things, because for me this is very personal. I do have videos here and there talking about my MS, and it's a huge part of my life, so it's kind of natural to talk about it here and there, but I also want this channel to be mostly beauty related content, just because this is just a place where I can distract myself from, or distance myself from, my illness and my struggles, and have fun with makeup, because this is just the most fun thing I can think of to do, really, is to play with my makeup and talk about it. I have my list right here. I have my chaga tea, like the ugliest teacup, but it's what I have right now. I just started drinking chaga tea. It was completely unknown for me, but I really enjoy it. I'm a big fan of different kind of mushroom teas, mushroom coffee, mushroom cocoa, and now chaga. So it really just gives me a little bit more energy, or it just kind of makes me feel better. I have no idea what this is good for. I know it's good for something. I don't drink it too often, maximum 1 cup a day. Alright, I've zoomed you in a little bit closer. Let's talk about my lip balm. I just applied my lip balm, so I'm not going to do that again, but I do have this Pacifica Color Quench lip tint that is in my project pan. I try to use this quite a bit, but I think I have a luxury problem is what we call it here in Norway. This is how much that is left. Good lip balm, not too bad. The problem is that I have another lip balm that I'm trying to pan, and that lip balm is so good. It is this really old Cherry Culture watermelon lip balm, and just applying this makes my lips amazing, so I don't feel the need to apply more lip balm, So I guess maybe it was a stupid idea to try to pan another lip balm when I have a great lip balm that just works wonders. But that's what I'm trying to do. So there's my progress on the lip balm. Alright, I'm just gonna apply the MAC Painterly paint pot. I've pretty much been dealing with MS the majority of my life. I started having symptoms when I was 17, but I didn't get diagnosed until 2017. So before that, I was kind of just dealing with pain and all kinds of symptoms that I thought was completely normal. Yeah, I just thought I was weak. I thought everyone else was handling life so well and their struggles so well, and I felt like a mess. Especially the college years were really, really tough. I'm using the Mascara Perfecting Powder, HD Perfecting Powder. So this is in my project pan, and I'll show you my progress. So I've kind of just finished the center and middle part, and now I have the outer rim to work on. So I'm really happy about the progress there. I'm not gonna talk too much about my eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna do a different video on my Panda palette, but I am gonna use those shadows today. So I'm just gonna explain what I used without showing you so I don't spoil anything. But if you wanna see the progress on my Panda palette project, then the video will come very soon. Maybe it's already up before this one, we'll see. So I'm just gonna apply Gallery in my crease. So by the time I was diagnosed, I had a more serious attack that led to my diagnosis. And by that time, I've been working my ass off to try to function as normal as possible. And I was really struggling. And I continued to do my best at work while juggling house chores and kids. My daughter was 6 months old when I got the attack and I got diagnosed, so it was a very difficult time. Same shadow, just focusing on the outer part of my eye. This is like a matte light taupe. So I started using Copaxone with 3 injections a week for the next 4 years. And then I got another attack last spring. So I changed the medicine into Maptera, or rituximab, which is what we call it here in Norway usually. And I had my second dose of that right before Christmas. So fingers crossed, I hope that's gonna prevent me from getting more attacks in the future, or more lesions, I'll say. So next I'm gonna deepen up the crease with the shadow called Exquisite, which is a matte darker purple. So the last few years, up until the 2nd of March of 2020, was very, very difficult. So I got to a point where I worked so hard that I kind of got burned out, really. I didn't function at home, I didn't function at work. Nothing was really working very well. I'm doing the Gallery, that light matte taupe underneath on my lower lash line. Yeah, so the 2nd of March was my last day at work, and I was officially in a life crisis. Having to quit my job was a huge grief for me. I felt like I lost my identity. I felt like I just lost a big piece of myself. If any of you don't know, I worked as a preschool teacher, I think is the right thing to say. I worked in a kindergarten, being in charge of like one group of kids, if that makes sense. And my special field was kids between 0 to 3 years old, and then I also went to college for 2 years to be able to work in the school system as well. So anyways, those college years was so difficult for me to get through, just kind of giving up on my dream. I don't know how to describe it. Like, up until then, my mental health had been pretty good. I dealt with my diagnosis fairly well, but that was all because I was kind of distancing myself from the whole thing. just keeping myself busy with work and kids and everything, and trying not to even deal with it. And then when that didn't work anymore, I kind of had to deal with it, and yeah, it was very difficult. So I'm gonna apply outline on the outer part of my eyes, and then Shears and Voila on the inner part of my eyes, just using my fingers. Yeah, so I kind of got into a life crisis, sort of, after that. So pretty much like the whole or the rest of 2020 was very difficult. And on top of that, of course, COVID, and you get really isolated because, especially now, using rituximab increases the chance of me getting severely sick from COVID. And so the last few years I've been really isolated and careful, and you kind of just feel like you're outside of society and just very lonely with everything, really. So I kind of had to create my own little bubble here at home, and 2021 was really a spiritual and mental health journey, like me trying to deal with what was going on in my head. I had a lot of anxiety to deal with, and my self-confidence and self-worth was completely destroyed after quitting my job. I'm just putting a little bit of highlighter in the inner corners of my eye. I'm just doing the simplest of eye makeup today because I can't talk and do this at the same time. Oh, I can actually show you the progress of my highlighter since I was using it. So I hope you can see this. This is the mirror luminizer that I've been working on. Takes forever. I'm really curious to see the intro picture next to this progress, because I have no idea how well I've done, but hopefully it's doing well. I'm really struggling with the focus today. I have no idea if this is in focus, but this is my progress with my eyeliner. This is a gray eyeliner from Makeup Mecca. Just putting that on the outer part of my lower lash line. And I haven't done a whole lot of progress on this one, but that's just because I just use the tiniest little bit every time I use it. I have used it quite a bit, but yeah, that's gonna take a long time to use up. Just a nude liner in my lower inner rim. This one's from Isadora. It's called Blonde. Moving on to my ordinary primer, the High Adherence Silicone Primer. So I was starting out right up here, and now I'm down to here. I know it's not like huge progress, but I'm pretty happy with it actually, because I use about this much, and I only apply it right where I need it, which is around my nose, my forehead, and my chin. Then we have the Charlotte Tilbury Corrector in Fair. I've used this every single time I've done my makeup. I love this product. Ever since I quit my job, I kind of just been doing a lot of soul searching and just trying to figure out who I am without my job. Like, that's not my entire whole identity, and I kind of realized that now, but it took some time to get there, and I'm really on top of my anxiety, which is great. It's still there, but it's a lot better. I do yoga, I do meditations, I'm kind of into the whole spiritual world. I'm feeling like, I just feel like I'm opening up to a lot of great new things, and I don't know why I'm so interested in like crystals and tarot and the universe and like all these things, but it's a big interest of mine at the moment. And yeah, so that's kind of where I stand now. So right now I'm not working, and I'm really lucky to live in Norway, where they have a system for people who is not able to work for some reason or another. Usually that system works, not always. A lot of people have been struggling with that, but for me, I've gotten a lot of good help, and I'm really grateful for being able to be taken care of financially when I did get this illness. By the way, if you don't know what MS is, I have some other videos. I have my MS story, which talks about my entire journey with MS, or finding out that I had MS, and I talk more about what MS is in that video. So check that out if you want to see. I also have a vlog from this summer when I started Mascara, if that's interesting. I'm just going to apply my Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation while I talk about my current situation dealing with house chores and kits and all that. I started out right here on top. Hopefully I'm in focus. And I'm down to here now, which I'm really happy about. Like, that's almost half of what I started with. I thought that things were going to be a lot better with kits and house chores once I quit my job. In a way it's better because I have a lot more time to do it, but my MS has gotten worse since I quit my job. So I still am struggling a lot. I have found some tips and tricks and methods to make it work a lot better. But yeah, I wouldn't be lying if I said that it wasn't difficult. I think my main issue right now, or my the symptom I struggle the most with, is having permanently a fever, which means I sometimes have an actual fever, and sometimes I just have the feeling of having a fever. It's just basically the body not being able to or capable of regulating the temperature on its own. And so the result of that is just me getting a lot more fatigue because I get exhausted with the fever. I just feel sick all the time. I do have the Inglot under eye concealer in 95 in my project pan. As you can see, the first dot here are from my intro, and this little line is from now, which means I haven't focused on this too much. I've used it 4 times, and my goal is to use it 30 times. The reason for that was I wanted to use this lightest concealer that I have in my collection during these, months that are the coldest, where I'm at my fairest. So December, January, February. This is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer in Porcelain. And I realized that I don't have much left. There's probably maybe this much left in here. So I took out the stopper, which was quite a struggle, but I did it. And now I really want to use this up, or at least get some use out of it, because this is one of my oldest concealers, and I only use the tiniest bit of concealer every time, so it takes a while to use it up. Oh God, I've forgotten what I was talking about. That's another struggle. My memory is terrible. I really struggle to remember things, but I think the worst thing is while I have conversations, I completely forget my train of thoughts. Or strain of thoughts? Strain of thought? I don't know. Yeah. And that's, first of all, super embarrassing because I might have some kind of point to make and then I'm in the middle of making that point and then I completely, my brain completely shuts off. And then I can't find the right words. So when I'm trying to explain something or talk about something, I just completely, I'm not able to say anything really because I can't find the words, like, at all. That's very difficult. That was very difficult while I was working with, you know, having meeting with parents and stuff like that. It was so difficult and just super embarrassing. And then obviously fatigue is probably the hardest part. And so I think managing house chores, taking care of the house, as well as being there for my kids, as well as, you know, doing something that makes me happy is very hard to juggle because while they are at school and kindergarten, I try to take care of the house, and that's like my main priority. And most days I am not able to do something that's, you know, lighthearted, something that's interesting or fun for me. And I'm a very creative person. I like to do creative things. I love music, I love dancing, singing, painting, and of course doing my makeup, doing YouTube videos. And I just don't have the energy to do that. I also don't have the energy to be social, being with friends. It's just very difficult to maintain relationships when you are dealing with a lot of fatigue and just all the symptoms that I have. I very often get the feeling of just using up all my energy on, like, it used to be work and now it's a lot of like house chore things, and then not being able to have enough energy for my kids. So the thing is to try to balance. Let's see, I need to, the Essence Super Last 24-Hour Eyebrow Pomade Pencil Waterproof in the color in brown has been really great. I was skeptical of this because I don't really love pomades. I don't like that waxy feeling on my brows, but this has been really great. Didn't have a problem with this being too waxy, but it also makes it last a lot longer. I am very happy with this product. I most likely will repurchase. So just being able to balance that whole thing is really what my main challenge is right now. So I kind of have to try to make days where I guess my expectations to myself is pretty high, and I feel so much better mentally if everything around me is organized and tidy and clean. That's what I prefer, but I kind of have to just accept the fact that I'm not able to have a perfect home and being a good mom and taking care of myself on top of it. So I just had to kind of lower the expectations to myself and accept the fact that things doesn't have to look perfect or be perfect. And I also try to focus on one thing at a time I used to do the longest to-do lists. I had like 20 things that I had to go through every day, and especially right after I quit working, I was almost like punishing myself and constantly telling myself that I was completely useless if I didn't get through those 20 things I had on my list. So I still have those thoughts fairly often, but it's quite a bit better than it used to be. I just try not to have more than maybe 5 things on my to-do list, and one of those things have to be something good, something that has to do with me taking care of myself. So it could be like meditating or reading a book or doing a YouTube video or just doing my makeup, because it's so important to, at least for me, for my mental health, that I do something that makes me happy every day, that it's not just chores and then taking care of my kids. I also make sure that there's days that I don't really care about house chores at all, just the bare minimum, just what I have to do, and then focusing on my kids instead. That was something that I wasn't able to do when I was working. I understand the person who requested this, because it is really difficult to know how to juggle these things. And I'm sure it's difficult if you're, healthy as well. I'm just going to use my e.l.f. Wow Brow Neutral Brown Brow Gel thing. I kind of like this actually. And I've also gotten so much better to like plan my energy usage so that if I know that I'm going to do something with my kids, for instance, I know that I need to rest the day before and I need to rest the day after to be able to function well during that time. Or if I need to go, to the hospital to get my medication, or meet someone for coffee, I know that I need to rest before and I need to rest after. That's kind of a thing that I've learned. And also not being scared to ask for help, or not scared, but sometimes it's really hard, really difficult to ask someone for help, because I really want to do it all on my own. Yeah, I'm going to use the same powder underneath my eyes. This one. Let's see, what other things do I try to... Okay, so food-wise, I'm not really on a diet or anything, but there's some things that I've learned to stay away from. I make sure to take my vitamins. D vitamin is like a huge thing when you have MS. I stay away from coffee. That makes me really unwell. My symptoms just get worse with drinking coffee, so I usually just drink tea, or some kind of like mushroom tea or herbal tea, or there's a lot of great teas out there. I've also really reduced my sugar, and that's also like a struggle during this time. I have a few birthdays around Christmas, and then all traveling, going on holidays, things like that exhausts me. It completely breaks me. Christmas time is the worst time a year to have MS, really, because there's some stress. You have to, clean the house, you have to get all the Christmas gifts and make all the food, and then you eat a lot of bad food that's not healthy for you, and it makes my MS just gets so much worse during that time. So it has taken me quite a while. Today's really the first day I feel okay since Christmas, or since November, I'd say. So yeah, I really have cut out a lot of sugar in my diet, or yeah. Whenever I eat sugar, it's like I am poisoning myself. It's like having a major hangover, and just, yeah, I feel like I'm completely destroying myself. I'm going to use the butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. I've used this a ton, but I don't think I've made much progress on this one. This is what it looks like. Just going to continue to use it. I really love it though. I love using this. It's the light bronzer. And alcohol is a big thing. I pretty much don't drink alcohol at all anymore. At the maximum, probably 2 to 3 times a year. And when I drink alcohol, it's like at the top, 2 wine glasses or 2 beers, not more than 2 out of something. Working out and staying healthy like that, being active, is a huge thing. I've really been struggling with that. It's very difficult when you have fatigue to be able to to work out on top of everything. You know, when you have to take breaks during showering, and you have to sit down to be able to make a meal for your family. Just being able to work out is like the least of my priority when my MS is really bad. But I do my best. I try to work out as much as possible. And I just try to tell myself that, okay, 10 minutes is better than nothing. Sometimes I just stretch. Sometimes I just go for a little walk. Just the smallest things can make a difference. So yeah, but I'm not good with working out. I just try my best. Okay, so the blush, I really feel like I'm doing well with my blush. In the Inglot blush in number 20. And this is what it looks like. The hit pan pretty well. I made a good pan. So even though I'm almost like surprised that I'm not more close to using it up, I'm still happy with my progress. Why is it so dark? I'm sorry about my lighting, guys. I'm really sorry. Also, sometimes I'm trying to like cheat with the activities with my kids. So sometimes I really try to kind of include them in chores, which I think is a good thing. I think it's important that kids learn to be independent and learn to do their part in the household. So I don't think that's bad, but you know, for them to take part in making their lunch, folding laundry, like taking out the trash, watering the plants, things like that. Again, I'm using the Maryland Luminizer. And also, lately, I have had my daughter joining me when I do workouts. And so we created this game where she comes up with the exercises, and I just try to mimic her. And she finds that very, very funny or entertaining. And it's a good workout for me, and it's a great time to like share with her as well. Also, she really likes to do my makeup, do my hair, things where I can stay in my chair and relax at the same time as we have a moment that we share, or an activity that we share. So more like things like playing football, playing catch, going hiking, going skiing, things like that takes a lot of energy from me. I love to do those things with my kids, but I cannot pull it off many times. You know, I have to really plan if I'm going to do those things. I wish I could do all those things with my kids and not feel like crap after, but that's not the reality, so I'm gonna have to do alternative things. So like as I was saying, doing more like sit down calm activities are a lot better. So reading a book for them, I really love reading for my kids. Playing board games, doing like activity books, coloring, things like that, things where I can stay at one place is really great. At days when I can't function at all, like I don't feel like talking, or not feel like, I'm not like able to talk, I'm not able to lift my hands, I feel like breathing is hard, and I still have to take care of my kids. Those are the days that are like nightmares, but I still try to do things with them. Like, oh my god. One activity that is a go-to when I have those days are them actually drawing on me. Like they take a pen and they'll write their names and they'll just draw a son or a girl or a house or whatever it might be on my hands, on my arms. Look, so my arms are completely covered in their drawings, and I can just lay there and still be with my kids, and they have fun with me without me having to use up so much energy. Yeah, that's an idea. If you haven't tried that and you struggle with chronic illness that involves a lot of fatigue, and yeah, then that's an activity you can try out. Hide and seek is another game I enjoy because I can stay at one place for a long time. Yeah, so I just kind of try to find things that we can do without me using up my entire energy. But again, I wish I could do it all. Alright, so we're down to mascara. I've actually used up a mascara. The Clarins little travel-sized Wonder Perfect Mascara 4D Perfect Black. This was really good. So if it was cruelty-free, I would have repurchased, but it's not. And it's time to let this one go. So I only have 2 mascaras left that I'm kind of focusing on. None of them are in my project pan, but still going to use them today. So first off, the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. Looks really weird, but I feel like it does help for my volume. The Kix Alluring Curve Lash Curling Mascara. Yeah, I really, really like this mascara. It's a weird wand, but once you learn to use it, it's great. So I'm probably going to remember some more things I should have talked about when I'm done with this video. I feel like I've kind of covered the essentials. I first off made some affirmations for myself, for, you know, anxiety, stress, self-love, healing, and all that. I also did a video on it in case I could help someone that is struggling with the same things. So that really helps to tell myself, you know, that I'm worthy, that I'm good enough, that I'm grateful for everything I have, because after all, we all have struggles. We all have something we're dealing with, but you can still pretty much always find some things that you're grateful for and try to focus on that. It actually really helps to try to stay positive. Even though it can be really difficult sometimes. Okay, that was a lot. Whew. We have left a lot of lip products that I'm going to show you. I'm going to go through my list and talk about the things that I haven't applied. So the Isadora Glossy Lip Treat and Vintage Rose, I've been just putting in my purse or my pocket, and I've used it every time I was going out. And so I've used it quite a few times, but there's still so much left in this, which I knew this is going to take me at least all year, if not longer. But it's a beautiful product. I really like to use this, and just going to continue to work on it. The lip product that I've used the least is the Kiko Gossamer Emotion Creamy Lipstick in 102 Pink Sand. I think it's called Pink Sand. I probably only used this like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 times. And I only have a tiny bit of progress. Hopefully you can see this. Right next to it is H&M lipstick in Misty Mauve, which I think is really good progress. This one right here, actually I think I'm gonna apply this one. It feels just like a lip balm with just a little bit of a tint. It feels so moisturizing and nice. I really love this. But again, H&M is not cruelty free, so I won't repurchase this one. This is probably the lip product I've used the most. I've focused on this a lot. The Lord & Berry Maxi Matte Crayon Lipstick in Intimacy. So hopefully you can see my progress right here. I actually really like it. It's so surprising to me that this has a matte finish, and I actually like it because I don't like matte finishes. But this one is really nice. And then my lip liner, again, definitely not my least favorite lip liner, from H&M Lip Definer in Au Naturel. This is my progress right there. Still pretty good, just considering the fact that I've just forced myself to use it. Oh, and I've pretty much only been focusing on the Inglot powder blush, so I've used this like twice. The Beauty UK Sweet Cheeks Cream Stick Blusher. This is gorgeous, but yeah, I really want to finish the powder blush first. There's actually 2 lines here, but I think you can only see one. That's how little the progress is on this one. And then the same with my 2 other powders. I have not used this at all. Same with the Inglot powder. I've only been focusing on the Manicador powder because I really want to finish that one off first. I think there's the best chance for me to finish that one off first. I think that one has the least amount of product left. Then I have the Chores eyeshadow in 68. I was going to use that for 30 times throughout this project, and so far I've used it twice. I love this, but I tend to forget to use it. So there's my progress on that. Then there's my H&M eyeshadow in award season. I have used it 4 times, and my goal is to use it 30 times. Then there's my Milani Weekend Brow, still going strong, works really nice. I've had just a couple of times where I've experienced a lot of product kind of gathering at the tip, so I kind of have to wipe it off before I continue. But other than that, it still is working great. I use it whenever I don't use the Essence one or my brow gel or pomade in a jar. So I really love that one. So that is it for the products in my project pan. I also mentioned 2 other products I think that I want to kind of work on the side, like unofficially. The e.l.f. matte lip color in Tea Rose. I've used this quite a few times. There's still quite a bit of product left, but yeah, I just want to continue to use it so that I can replace it with a new one by the end of the year. Is my plan. And then the other product is the Essence My Power is Fire Amethyst Infused Hydrate and Prime Mist. That's this one. I was up to here when I started my project, or I don't know how. This isn't in my project, but it kind of is. And all of a sudden, I had a good routine. All of a sudden, the actual spray stopped working. So I had to pour it into another container. And ever since I did that, I've been using it a ton because this spray is so much better than the other one. So now I'm guessing I'm down to here or something. It's just a wild guess, but I don't think I will have a problem to use it up. I've kind of replaced it, just to focus on it, with I've replaced my Glow Mist from Pixie, which I use as a part of my skincare morning and night, with this one instead. And I also have been using this as my setting spray as well, just to use it up, and it's going great. Oh, and also just to give you an update on the 2 Inglot shadows that I chose, I decided to switch out the dark purple with a blue one, just to switch it up a little bit. Also, I didn't really care for the dark purple one. I really enjoy the turquoise, and pair it with Zoeva and Taupe palette that I've used, that is in my Pan That palette project. So that is it. This is gonna take me a while to edit, so we'll see when this goes up, but the actual date of me filming this is the 31st of January. So about a month since into my project. I'm really happy with the progress and everything. For those of you who were only here for beauty related talk, I'm sorry. I hope this wasn't too boring for you to hear. And for the one who requested this video, or me talking about MS, I hope you got some of your answers, and I thank you so much for listening to me and for following me and watching my videos. I really, truly appreciate it. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great day. Bye!